can you be a good man while still battling your pleasures?
Yeah. The answer is yes. You have to think of this good versus bad thing as a spectrum, right? It's not like you all of a sudden cross this threshold and now you're a good man, but before 2 minutes ago, because you played 1 hour of video games, you're a bad man, right? It's not so much this like trigger or light switch that you can turn on or off. This is why I define them as challenges, right? Everyone has these challenges that they're facing, and we all have different vices, right? They say that every person is susceptible, not just men, but every person is susceptible to one of three vices. I think it's gambling, drugs, or sex, and one of those could ruin your life, right? And maybe some people have the trifecta; they have all three, right? We all have our different things, and for some people, it might not even fall in those categories. I know people that have committed their life to video games. They love it. They think it's the be all end all. They'd prefer to live in a virtual reality and have their characters prestige 4 times on COD than they would put those hours into the real life. There's a lot of philosophical questions behind whether that is, bad or not, because, who's to say that life in the virtual world is any worse than this one? Well, I have my opinions on that. But all in all, if the reality out here is harder and easier, harder to accomplish things in, then why not go to the virtual reality? This is the mindset of these men that kind of live there. Now, there's everyone needs their way of decompressing, right? Sometimes that's video games. Sometimes it's going on a run, right? Whatever. And there's things that are better for you or worse for you. Ideally, we're all approaching this ideal version of ourselves, meaning if I think that I have a problem with video games, which personally I was an addict of the first order. In high school, COD and FIFA were my life. And that was a problem, right? So for me, maybe not for everybody, but for me, I know if I get a taste, there goes my life, there goes my career. So I exited that out because that wasn't what I wanted to become. I saw this one quote recently. Who was this by? I think it was Jordan Peterson. He said, take any given action and do it 1,000 times in your mind. Who are you at the end of those 1,000 times? And when I apply this to something like video games, if I take 1 hour of playing video games, harmless, like you said, harmless. If I do that 1,000 times, where am I? And what's the opportunity cost of being a reader for those one hours or those 1,000 hours? If I translate 1,000 hours of gaming and who that Kirk is on the other end of that, and who's the Kirk at the 1,000 end of reading, I'm a much more interesting and cool guy if I read. And so now this is a challenge that I have to decide in my mind. I get to decide, am I going to be the video game guy or am I going to be this guy that reads? And whatever it is, whether it's Harry Potter or Freud, right? Which one do I want to choose there? And then add on any other thing you could do with those 1,000 hours. So for me, that challenge in and of itself provides me some sort of desire to fulfill that potential. There's a gap there, and I want to fill that in, and I want to be the best version of myself. Not just for me, but I got a fiance. I want to impress her. I want to impress my parents. I want my friends to be like, I'm proud to be friends with that guy, right? I can imagine be very difficult to want to achieve these things if you didn't have those drivers. But I think in our core, we want to be appreciated by the people we love around us. If we had a choice, would we prefer to hear you're trash and worth nothing? Or would we prefer to hear I'm proud of you? Normally it's the latter, right? And those things are what's kind of we can use as fuel. And this is also an encouragement to people to say, hey, tell people who you are proud of that you're proud of them more, because it does help. And this is one thing that Chris Williamson talks a lot. Richard Reeves talks about a lot. It's almost like become taboo to compliment men, to tell them, that they've done good. It's the fuel on which we live. And it is so wonderful when you do hear it, and you won't believe like things that I've heard years ago. I still go, yeah, wow, that really helped.